better.
What happened?
Ta-da.
Oh shit!
Oh, I don't need those.
Oh,
We're doing this again. We're doing this again.
Yeah.
Why?
What episode is this? 21.
6,000.
21 episodes this year.
Is it 21 this year?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this season 21. This
Fuck
is
me.
our 21st, and out of all those, we have
At least one good
two good.
It's one where you were sick.
You know what? Yeah. You know the shittier episodes are the ones with you on them.
Oh, that's all of them.
Duh. I just said, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, welcome to the show. You know what you should do? I'm Gizz Lazlo.
I'm just Paul.
And here we are for round 21, man.
Oh, we can drink
our
now.
Our show is all done.
We can fucking drink now.
Speaking of which,
oh yeah. So we're gonna take my new sponsor, Michter's Straight Rye. Dear Michter's, send us shit. Is that how it works?
how
Okay.
was your week?
Fucking really amazingly good, dude. I got Dan Gardner and made breakfast on Sunday for a bunch of drunks. Depending on whose viewpoint you're coming from, it got really awesome and weird at the same time. It's just been a lot of dots connected. It's been a lot of fun. Pulled in a big job, got a big deposit, gonna kick ass, make some fucking actually real money finally. And hire some cute chick.
Good. Finally.
How's your week?
Good. Before I get into my week, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and so we can keep bringing you this content that we do every week that is just getting better and better.
Oh, is it?
And just want to give a shout out to all our sponsors: Headline Records, Transplants Brewing Company, MEOWZ, Retro Thrift Shop, Riot Manufacturing, Licorice Pizza, and the Tattoo Room in Simi, and our newest sponsor,
Michter's
Almost Famous Magazine,
Yay!
which
Hi,
I
Scott.
am doing another interview with tomorrow.
Well, yeah, you know, I paid Scott to make you feel better.
Shut up. Oh my God. And to continue with what I was supposed to do.
Now he's gonna read this. He's gonna get weird.
All right, so this week's birthdays, we got some cool people, man. Patrick Carrain, who is a UK sub supporter. I've known him for many years now, and really nice guy. Always just pushing UK subs. I don't think he has anything to do with the band, but just being a fan. But he's always pushing the band. Lou Cataldo, who's one of the drummers from the Freeze, so he's a special friend. Ryan Kinder from Big Lizard Records, an old friend of mine. He's the one that released the CBGB's live record for Dead Lazlo's Place. Jula Bell from Bohemia Banquet, and Oliver Balzer from Münster, Germany, who is a huge Bad Town Boys supporter back in the 90s, still is. Talk to him every once in a while. That's what I love about Facebook is you get to keep in contact with people that you've lost contact with. And
I gotta say, that's the one good use for social media. Like, oh, hey, looks who's online right now. I haven't talked to you in years and years. Here you go.
Yeah, that's another thing that I do like about Messenger is if you go to Messenger, you look at the top, there's a little green dot that says, oh, they're online. So sometimes I'll send a message, and most of the times people fucking avoid me, like said person who just walked in.
Kribo, well, he just got done on the corner.
Oh,
he's got to wash off the lube.
Right on. He's paying for the next other album.
Yeah. Hey, did you always ever press any vinyl for the live thing at CBGB?
No.
And it'll never happen because somebody.
I'm thinking now that you mentioned that, I'm thinking back. And in all the years, the 30 years that Lazlo was together, I don't think we ever released a vinyl record. Everything was already CD. We did 12 inches or 7 inches for Fearless.
And a comment there.
Shut up.
You did 12 inches.
You've done 16.
Nope. That doesn't exist.
God, I wish you were wrong. But,
it doesn't hurt.
Jail hurts.
No, jail's awesome. Food's trash. Sex great.
But all right, I got all done with that. My week was good. I don't remember. That's how good it was. No, I wanted to. But Saturday we played.
Yeah, it was a show.
Good, man. Really good. Our friends from Our friends from Sacramento, Rebel Punk, came down and played, and it was just an amazing show. First band, I'm not even going to mention who they are, but one thing that, you know, since this is a punk rock education show, one thing that I don't think is punk rock is when you play a show and an opening band grabs the envelope of money, gives a touring band $100, and then takes off with the rest of the cash. And I think there was about, you know, $500 in that envelope for 3 bands. We were going to give our cut to the touring band, but the opening band decided, oh, you know, I don't think anybody deserves this. We had 11 inputs of
you should throw that at people's face.
This is why I don't take baseballs to shows.
Oh, well, you know what?
Or baseball bats.
You know what you should
do? Start carrying a weapon?
No. Stick. Poop on it. Poop on a stick. It's the greatest weapon in humankind.
There's a friend of mine. That's his phobia.
What?
Chased around with.
Oh my God! Tell me who that is. This is gonna get funny as fuck.
I gotta.
That's my favorite. A man with a gun will drop his gun if you wave poop in his face.
Oh, I thought there were bubbles from the last time somebody used this, but there's little. What are they called? Those little.
Snowflakes?
Snowflakes, yes.
Okay, snowflakes.
Oh, that's your nickname.
No.
That was your nickname.
You'll never
in jail.
see those. Oh, no. My nickname in jail is way worse than that.
Oh, yeah. Little Pluto.
No. Red pussy.
Red man pussy. Oh, man.
What are we doing today?
Today, we have our second author.
Yeah.
Old friend of mine, Greg Jacobs. He wrote Hell on Wheels that we have a copy.
He wrote it. He wrote it twice.
Yeah. You want to show it?
No.
That's
your
job because it's on.
I don't have a job. I don't make money. Pull in. I wanted Greg to show it, but fuck you. He's
why? So you can pull out?
Oh, I'm definitely pulling out. I want to get you pregnant. Imagine we had babies.
Oh, that's salsa.
You just come in your mouth a little bit.
You sick fuck.
Yep.
Oh, I was trying to.
Yeah, I know. You just
thought it was a little
flask.
But yeah, we got Greg here today, and he's going to be talking about his book.
He'll be talking about a lot of things.
Stories,
yeah.
And if any man has stories, this is the man.
That just came out really fucking weird.
Everything comes out weird out of me.
Well, that's the bridge troll part.
I shoot cum wads out of my nose.
Yeah, you do. Well, since we're sitting here and you're sober-ish,
yeah,
I'm not. Yeah, I am.
I doubt it.
Nah, I don't think I've been sober in years. Come on, Greg.
Yay!
You get it right.
Yeah. How you doing, pal?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, dude. Always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, you too.
And now we get to have you on our show.
All right. Stoked.
Read the fucking book.
Can you do it in less than an hour?
No fucking way.
No, but the chapters are all really short, so it's a good. Well, I think Martin Wong from Giant Robot. And he did a review for Razor Cake, and he said it's the best thing for the shitter. He's like, you can get through a story or two and then leave it there and come back the next day.
Start off where you left off.
Maybe if you didn't have to rip a page out because you ran out of paper.
Yeah.
For that shit story.
I love the premise of how this whole thing kind of happened. You were sharing an office with the publisher and you yelled through the wall and you're like, no.
Yeah. It's true. It's all true.
Run that through.
So yeah, back in the 90s, I was working in San Diego. I had a band management office, and my friend was a book publisher, and he wore many hats. The guy, it's Gary Hustwood. I don't know if you guys know Gary. He did have you seen the new Brian Eno documentary that changes every time it plays?
What?
Every single time it plays, it's different. But Gary did that. He's a documentary filmmaker now and doing very well. But back then he has a publishing company, and he was the only author on his print. So he yelled through the wall and said, "Hey, you need to write a book, so I'm not my only author." And I was like, "No, dude, I'm I'm an art major. I'm not, not a
I'm
literature major.
painting.
Yeah. I mentioned it to my mom one day. I said, Gary wants me to write a book. And she's all, you love tour stories so much. And when you go on tour, you love to tell them, and you love it when your bands get back and they love, you just love it. You should ask people their tour stories. And I was like, that's a pretty good idea, Mom. So
yeah, Mom kicks ass.
Yeah, I pitched it to Gary, and he thought it was a good idea too. And so it's my mom's fault. It's all my mom's idea.
I wouldn't call it a fault, actually. I think it's a really amazing thing to support your kid like that. Mom, bitch.
I need to call her so I could be in the next book.
Yeah.
If anybody's got tour stories.
Nobody wants to hear that shit. I had to get all this stuff out of my beard, and there's this guy's next to
I'm so glad I wasn't sipping this.
Yep. So how do you start that? How do you take the first step into writing that? What was the first, who did you pick as your first tour story moment?
You mean like for the new one or
For the original
the
one?
original one? I tried to think of people that I knew at first, because there was no social media at the time either, as far as I can
Before
remember.
computers.
Yeah. So, it was like today, the new book was much easier to do, much easier to reach out to people. But back then it was like, my office was right next door to the Casbah, literally shared a wall with the Casbah.
So you were always drunk.
So yeah, but I was also, I just went down there at sound check, and whoever was there, I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Want to give me a story? And some people said yes, and some people said no. So we did that, and then kind of combined forces with everyone in the office. Like, who do you know? So, some people knew, that's how we got Greg Hetson. Somebody from the office, not me, was friends with Hetson, and he gave a story. And there was a few others that came through that way, but most of them were just kind of luck. And a couple of people, actually, Daniel House from Skin Yard was I knew him when I worked at Cruise, so I was able to reach out to him, and he gave me a story. But it was hard back then.
That's self-addressed stamped envelope time.
Yeah. I went
Send me a Hayes.
I remember I went to the Tiki Bar, I think it was called. It's still called that, in Costa Mesa, and saw the Melvins, and I grabbed Buzz because I got there early. I'm all, dude, will you give me a tour story? And he's all, yeah, let's go in the van. So me and Buzz and Dale, yeah,
get in the van. Buzz is not a small man.
You throw a piece of candy in there.
Yeah,
it was sushi.
I went chasing after it. Yeah, but yeah, so it was really just kind of ambush tactics, I guess is how you call it, and whoever we knew.
Gonzo journalism, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
Have you asked somebody to do something and they said no, and then came back later and said, you know what?
No, I've had a few no's, but they haven't come back to say yes. There's two that, one was kind of crushing because Stiff Little Fingers is my favorite band in the whole world. And I reached out to Jake Burns through Facebook because now it's easy, man.
Yeah.
You can find anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But so I reached out to Jake and I said, dude, you're my favorite band in the whole world. This is what I'm doing. Will you give me a tour story? You can write it yourself so you can control the whole thing, or we can talk on the phone and I'll record it and send it to you so you can approve it. And he's like, I think tour stories are better told than written. And all mine have been told so many times. He's like, thanks for asking, but no. Thanks.
Oh,
and I was like,
it's kind of crushing, right?
It was such a drag.
We have a similar story for our shows. I asked a legendary singer for an English band that's, he's, pretty much American now, lives here and still touring with his band. And I asked him if he wanted to come on. He's like, I don't think I would fit your show because everything that I would say on your show, I've already said on someone else.
But he doesn't realize how good we are at journalism. We drag some weird shit out of people.
And we know a lot of the same people, so I could get some Nardwar. I don't think he trusts me.
How many pennies?
I was in a band with him as well.
So what drew you to punk rock in the first place?
There's two things I remember early on, and we talked about this off camera, but I'm super old, especially compared to you guys. Like I'm 60.
You're
So
fucking 6 years older than him and 10 than me.
so I
Grandpa.
got a head start. So let's just say that. So like in the late 70s, I remember my mom had a subscription to People magazine, and I remember seeing pictures of the Sex Pistols spitting on people or supposedly spitting on people in airports, and I was like, that's cool. Like,
Fuck yeah, that's
like,
cool.
I can
15,
spit.
like 14.
Yeah, you want,
like,
you want-
yeah. And then it just where I grew up, our next door neighbor was this guy. The family was called they were the Stoddards, and the oldest brother, who was probably 10 years older than me, was this guy Robert Stoddard, who was in. I grew up in Newport in Costa Mesa.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it was awful. It's real.
Punk rock, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to rebel against the limos and whatever.
Dad, stop sending the limo for me to go to school. People are making it look bad.
People were making fun of me. But Robert Stoddard was in the LA music scene in the late 70s. He ended up being in LA, an early version of LA Guns and a couple other
I
bands.
recognize the name.
But he brought over the Germs record when it first came out, and he was friends with my little brother because Robert played guitar and my little brother played guitar. And I remember hearing the Germs record that super early, like right when it came out, and thinking, I don't like this. And then like a month later, I'm like, I want to listen to that again. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But those
It
are my
took a month
two-
for you to go. I get it.
Yeah. Those are probably my two introductions to punk rock, I would say.
And from there, like, I mean, you get this. How did you propel it further? What was the impetus, like the thought process, and going, I want to be involved in this forever? I mean, other than just failure.
Yeah. Well, when my dreams of being a professional baseball player were dashed.
Oh, I had those too. 20 years.
Yeah. No, I mean, when I was a little kid, I thought I wanted to be a professional baseball player, but
Me too.
But I just in high school, I lived a weird life in high school. It was great, but I played football and baseball in high school, and I was a punker. So I was kind of accepted by everybody in high school. So I have a lot of friends still from high school. But I really gravitated towards, like, that's when the Cuckoo's Nest was still going.
Yeah.
So I got to go to the Cuckoo's Nest, which is one great thing about being my age. It's like, I mean, the Nest closed in 1981. So I got to go there and see, like, TSOL and the Adolescents and Fear and Circle Jerks. I remember all those guys playing at the Nest, which was just awesome. I'm sure I saw the Vandals. I used to say I was at the Pat Brown show when he tried to run the cops over, but I honestly don't remember if I was.
You were there.
Or not.
I heard.
So maybe I was there.
I heard from a guy who said it's true.
The funny thing is that my parents would lend me their car, and it was a Mercedes. And so we would park like 4 blocks down the street and walk up like we were some gutter punks, like walking up to the Cuckoo's Nest. We didn't want to get caught pulling up in a Mercedes.
I can't believe we didn't like to get the bus for a block.
Yeah.
It was south side of the tracks in Newport.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Newport Beach is not.
Or you wait across the street, wait till the bus pulls up, and then you walk around.
There you go.
Just got out, yeah.
Oh man, what do you think is the most impactful band show that you like actually were just like at that like really guys just got your guts?
Wow, that's a good question. I remember the Circle Jerks at the Cuckoo's Nest, and I always contrasted the Circle Jerks at the Cuckoo's Nest and Fear at the Cuckoo's Nest, and I just remember like going to the Fear show and jumping in the pit. We used to like elbow our friends, like, watch, I'm gonna go in, and like you'd have to watch your friend while they were in there, and then you'd get out and they'd go in, and but the Fear pit was like just angry and elbows flying, and if you fell down, like
You're fucked.
Yeah. And the Circle Jerks one was like this happy, bouncy. There were still elbows flying, but if you went down, someone grabbed you right away, and like. So I just remember the Circle Jerks back then, and TSOL back then too. Like when they put out that live EP.
Yeah.
Those were pretty amazing shows back then.
I mean, they're so. I don't want to ask the same questions you've been asked. That's one of the things I try to do. Is I watch their interviews, and I don't want to hear the same thing everybody else has asked. Like tour stories. Actually, let's back up. So, what is the worst no outside of Stiff Little Fingers? Like, would you ever find somebody angry at you for asking the question, or like somebody going "fuck off"? I don't want to deal with this shit. Like, was there any of that ever?
No, there was no real animosity there. I mean, there were a few no's that were I'll tell you, the most devastating no, and it wasn't even directly from him, was Iggy Pop.
Really?
Because here's what I did. When I talked to the original publisher to get his blessing to do a new version of the book, Gary, and he said, this is what you got to do. He's all, make a dream list. And Iggy was number 1 on the dream list, and Stiff Little Fingers was number 2. So I'm like, okay, this is a great idea. This is what I'm gonna do. So I actually, through my interview with Jello Biafra, I was able, he's all, you know who you got to get in this book? You got to get Iggy. I'm all,
yeah.
I said, he's ahead of you on the list, dude. Like, I didn't say that.
Hey, Jello. Is Jello watching? No, Jello's not watching.
I said, yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. I can't even figure out who his manager is, even with Google and everything else. And he's all, oh, his manager's this guy and blah, blah, blah. Like
what's his number?
Yeah. He basically hooked me up with, like, he gave me all the information I needed to find Iggy. And I talked to his manager a couple times. I told him what I was doing. He's all, I'll present it. He's all, he gets 1 million requests a day, so I can't guarantee, but I promise you I will give it to you. Give it to him. And but he just never, I reached out to the manager a couple more times, and he said, Iggy, he's all, look, he didn't reply. So
fair enough.
But at least I know I got to him. And if I do another version of this book, I'm going straight back to him again.
You're gonna. And
one of our mutual friends knows Iggy personally, so I might be able to get.
That is true.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
Don't know who that is. Fucking
might have a little more leverage now.
So now that you've done it twice, and literally I'm going to order the book in a few minutes. Who's your next bucket list besides Iggy?
Oh, thank you.
No,
foreclosures on the top. They're just just under Iggy.
And
Lewis, if you've ever heard of
Little Fingers and Spinal Tap.
Actually, I was thinking like Christina Aguilera would be way above foreclosure
in sales.
Yeah, that too. How many copies did the original sell?
You know, I honestly have
more than 11.
Yeah. Probably
less
more than 1 million. 11. Way less than 1 million. You know what? I don't even know if we had a contract for the first one. It was just 2 friends. Like I said, he wanted another author on his press. So that's
hey, it looks stupid. Fix it.
Yeah. And every once in a while he'd be all, hey dude, because the rent, the office was in his name. So I paid him rent and he paid the landlord. And every once in a while I'd be all, I can't pay rent. And he's all, I'll just take it out of your book royalties.
Did you ever see?
You're doing good.
No.
So when
paid rent a couple times.
Once you owed your first million, how did the second version go?
The second version is kind of funny. It's about in 2021, I think, somewhere around there. Some dude on a Naked Ray Gun page on Facebook posted about the Pierre story.
Right.
And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I started getting emails or Facebook messages from people saying, hey, are you the dude that wrote that book? Can I get a copy? Do you have any more? And like, I didn't have any, but I found some. So I bought them and I sold them.
You found
people. I did. No,
oh, there's a box.
I found them online actually.
Oh, okay.
On eBay.
Yeah,
he eBayed him and then re-eBayed him for double the money.
I did. I found
this one's signed by someone.
Yeah. I found them on at some used bookstore. They had 10 of them for like $10 each, and I just bought them all and sold them for 20. So,
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The new one's 50 used.
Yeah,
I looked it up. So how do you think the sales on the second one went? 100,000, 200,000. I mean, I know how rich you are because the limo you showed up in.
Right. Yeah.
The bus.
He parked his Mercedes about a block away.
It's an MTA limo.
I had to walk up. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I've asked the publisher because
Would you need an agent? I'll go after him.
yeah, maybe I should.
Well, that's the good part about working with our mutual friend is you'll definitely get.
Yeah,
You know,
he's great
numbers.
with that because we have Big Drill Car does all the digital distribution through them, and they're
Big
on
Drill
it
Car?
with that. But I lost my train of thought.
It's not hard to do with us. We drink a lot and we talk shit or piss or I don't know. There's bananas sometimes.
What's your favorite story from this book? This one.
That's a good question. Because it changes all the time. Like I love honestly, one of the old stories is still one that pops up in my head that I think is hilarious. But it's a band that not that many people know from Pop Defect. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
them?
Okay.
Their story, but I'm not answering your question, so maybe I should.
No, just answer whatever you want. Like,
But,
this is informal.
The
Society.
the Pop Defect story is so they're in their van on tour somewhere. I don't know where. It's probably not important. And someone in one of the windows, like in the gunk that's on the window, carves "Help me." So this big truck, 18-wheel truck, sees that and thinks someone has been kidnapped.
I know where this is going right now.
So the Pop Defect band pulls into the to get gas, and all of a sudden they're surrounded by cops and escorted out of their van at gunpoint. And they separate everyone, and they're like, "Is anyone here against their will?" Like this.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so it takes however many hours to straighten it all out and get the guns back in the holsters, and then they jump back in their van and they get gas and they start heading to the next gig again. Well, some of the truck drivers had been on their CBs talking to each other, and apparently the people in front, the truckers in front, didn't get the memo that they'd been cleared. So they said they were going down the road, and this one truck started slowing down, trying to like.
Oh my god!
And
Smoking
another
a
truck
bandit
was
moment.
gonna like try to trap them in, and they got out and got away because those guys still thought that they were looking for this band.
It was Gizz the whole time.
Yeah,
That is
I was
fantastic.
the one that wrote "Help Me"
It's such a
before
great
they dropped
story.
me off.
So I was reading about the names of the chapters. How do you come up with that shit? Because it's fucking funny as fuck, man.
You know what I did is I took the chapters and I separated them loosely by subject matter. Like, well, the most juvenile one, which is my favorite one, is accidents will happen, and it's all about people
Shit
shitting their
yourself.
pants. But
It's just Gizz's backstory.
Yeah.
I do have stories.
It's a lot of like actually David Yao gave me a scratch acid and a Jesus lizard story, both about shitting his pants.
And he's in his 90s now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's the thing that sucks about being on tour is that sometimes that feeling comes on, and you're 100 miles away from the first toilet.
Fuck no, the
And-
toilet's right on the side of the road.
And sometimes you just don't want to do that because it's in the middle of the desert and it's fucking hot and there's snakes.
Yeah.
Or there could be a bear or another band member that's pissed and you just don't want them taken off.
Oh my god! If we ever go on a road trip, I'm gonna kick
That's
you in the
why I
butthole
don't
while
take
you're
shits
shitting,
on
dude.
the road.
So you've managed a million different bands, and all of them are fucking amazing. What is like your favorite tour food?
That's a good. You know, honestly, I didn't tour that much with these bands. Honestly.
You could have lied.
I know. I should have. I did. I would.
He was in the Mercedes following him.
No, he had a driver
Yeah.
and a bar in the back.
Go faster
James,
with my martini
more.
and my pinky aloft.
Does that window say "Help me"?
Yeah.
No, it says me help.
Oh man.
But I mean, you've been out on the road a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I used to go. Big Drill Car used to say like anything I could book within 8 hours, they would do. So we would go to San Francisco all the time, and I'd always go with them there. Like we'd play the Covered Wagon. Does that place still exist?
I don't think
don't
it's
think-
open anymore now.
Covered Wagon, and then we'd either do like Gilman, or when they got bigger, they do Berkeley Square. But I really didn't do long extended
They ever do Bottom of the Hill?
tours. No,
That's actually newer than you think.
yeah. That was after. I've never even been there, which is sad to say, but I know it's a good venue.
Mm.
Everybody plays there, but
Damn it, Jeff.
yeah,
I saw Sam I Am there once.
Covered Wagon.
No,
Bottom of the
Hill.
We did. Liz at Covered Wagon, who was the booking agent, loved Big Drill Car, and she went.
Is there
on-
anybody who doesn't?
Yeah, I don't. If there are, they haven't.
I'll
told
punch
me.
him in the fucking mouth.
But Liz went on to be one of the characters in Guar, and I think she managed Guar for a while. But she would call me and say, "Hey, I got a really good show coming in. I want you guys to support." Like we played with NoFX there when I had no idea who NoFX was. And in fact, they insisted that we trade shirts with them. I'm all, dude, I don't
have another shirt.
I've never heard of your band. I don't want to trade merch with you and have a. No, but we ended up trading shirts. And then
We don't have extra scum.
Yeah.
Whoa! I mean, Fat Mike's been wearing that shirt for 37 years. I wouldn't touch that.
She put us with Soul Side too.
Oh
Which was
man,
awesome.
that's fucking awesome.
And I remember when she called and said, "I want you guys to play with Soul Side." I was like knee deep in a Soul Asylum obsession, like early Soul Asylum.
DJ Perner.
And I was like, "Soul Asylum? You were gonna play with Soul Asylum?" And she's all, "Calm down, dude. Soul Side." I was like, "Oh, okay, we'll do it." Who? Like I had no idea who they were, and I ran out and bought the 2 12 inches and listened to it. I'm like, "Oh my god, we get to play with them."
When he says 12 inches, ladies and gentlemen, for your younger people, that means a record. It's round and they're black sometimes.
And you go,
and not usually a full LP, or I would have said LP.
Oh,
Like
see, fucking think I know
6
some shit.
songs ish.
Yep.
On 12-inch vinyl. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, like I'm a massive Big Drill Car fan. I'm fucking I told you I saw a show with them and I 2 or 3 of them, and I'm just been floored the whole time. And then we did John Castor on the show, and All Systems Go, and some special tracks we can't talk about. How was managing bands? I mean, I know how to herd cats pretty good, but I would imagine like Down syndrome cats are a little harder.
It would at first I kind of hate this story or the way I tell
I
it,
love it
only
now.
because I make myself sound like a victim of my environment, even though what the truth of it is that I was lucky to be in the place that I was in the time that I was. So I was roommates with Frank Daly, the singer of Big Drill Car for you. They went and recorded. MIA had just broken up, or maybe not even broken up.
Oh, this is
yet.
super early.
Yeah.
88.
And Big Drill Car, 87, 88.
Yeah, right in there.
Big Drill Car went and recorded a demo, and they're like, "What do you think? Do you like it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's cool." And they're all, "We need a manager. We need someone to book stuff for us." I'm like, "Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done it before."
We made phone call.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll try it. So, and that's seriously how it
well,
happened.
let me make a phone call.
Drew, push it back. I always pushed it back.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Someone, I can't remember. I think it was this kid, Skibbs, who was like an Aquabats guy. He was an Aquabats friend, and I met him through Supernova playing with the Aquabats, and Skibbs was a nice fella that hung out. But he gave me a Big Drill Car record, a small block record that he got. I think he got it at like a thrift shop or something. He's all, "You need to have this." And I looked at it and I'm all, "Dude, I have 5 of these." And he's all, "No, look at it." And I opened it up and there's a handwritten letter from me dated 1987 saying, "Dear rock venue, we need a date. We need a show in 2 weeks." That's how far in advance I was booking shows. 2 weeks.
Oh,
We need a show at your venue in 2 weeks at, on this date or this date. Can you help? I'm like, it's the greatest thing ever. It's like,
fucking
Cuckoo's Nest has been closed for 10 years by that point.
yeah.
man. I'm like Mark Arnold is somebody I really want to get. I want to hear the rest of the story, but I have so many questions for him. So yeah, but go on. Like,
So it was really cool. Like it had the old bio and the old press kit that Stefan taught me how to do, basically. And we had no press at the time. Like they played 2 shows. So someone was like, "Pick of the week, go see Big Drill Car." And we're like blowing it up this big so we had something in a press kit. But it was really cool to see that in 2020, something that I had written in 1987.
That's so fucking cool.
And is that the first band you actually managed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it honestly was never on purpose. Like it was just, well, it was out of convenience for them. And then I liked it.
Yeah.
And then I ended up, I got, so one of the ways I was booking their shows was I would call Ron Coleman, who was working at Cruise Records at the time when Cruise and SST was separate.
Also doesn't like me.
He does. But he was also booking all.
Mm-hmm.
So I would call him and say, dude, what do you got in Cincinnati? What do you got? And he would give me all this information. And, but we couldn't, for some reason, it wasn't working out that we were going to play together yet. But at one point I called him to get a number for some place. And he's all, hey, do you know anyone that wants to work at Cruise? And I was like, me. Yes, me. And so I went into Cruise. I still drive by the old location. It was on Long Beach Boulevard at 27th Street, upstairs above a church. It was a hardware store. Now it's a church. But I went in there and I sat down and I met Ron for the first time after hassling him for phone numbers for God knows how long. And he's all, Greg's on his way here from SST. I'm like, okay. And this is when SST was only PO Box 1. I had no idea where the physical SST was. And about a half hour goes by and I'm still sitting there and I hear Ron on the phone and he's all, okay, yeah, whatever. And he comes in, he's all, Greg wants to know if you'll go pick him up at SST to do an interview. For me to be, I'm like,
you're the chauffeur.
Yeah, I'm like,
Greg's special, and he is fucking special.
So I
jump in your Mercedes.
Yeah, jump in the Mercedes, check the tape deck and make sure Black Flag's not in it. So I'm like, I pick up. So the first time I meet Gin, I'm giving him a ride and not back to Cruise. He's all, let's just go to my apartment.
That's creepy.
We go to his apartment. I sit on the couch. He sits on the floor and starts playing unplugged guitar and we start talking about Cruise. And he's all, okay, yeah, he gave me the job. And I said, well, let's talk about Big Drill Car now. And he's, oh yeah, I really like them. Stefan played them for me or whatever. Let's do records with them too. So it was I got a job and Big Drill Car got signed at the same time after I went and picked him up.
Can I kiss your ring now? I mean, it changed my life for sure.
But it changed mine too, because the one thing he said is you can't be their manager anymore. You can't work at the label.
You can punch Greg Ginn, by the way. He doesn't fall down very easy, but you can hit him.
I said okay, but I mean I was still Frank's roommate, and the street address on the original version of Small Block is my old apartment.
Really?
266 East 20th.
Oh my
Street,
God! I'm gonna take pictures in front of that just to do it.
That's where Frank and I lived, and Boris and I lived there, and so yeah. I mean, when there was any fan mail or any correspondence, it was my home phone number and our apartment. So I mean, I was still.
Times are so different now, aren't they?
Isn't it nuts? I know.
I mean, I remember job sites where there was a yellow pages.
Yeah.
And a job phone, they got locked up at night. I mean, it's such a different world. You go, okay, boom, I got your fucking Social Security number.
Yeah.
Greg bought me a car today. He doesn't even know it yet. I mean, so what did that parlay into? Where you went Big Drill Car, SST, and you kind of kept going with that, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna out myself again for my Newport Beach credentials, but so I worked at Cruise, then SST was Greg bought Chuck out of SST and brought Ron and I over to me and Ron over to SST.
I think Ron and I is right.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's Anyway, with one of those two. I'm trying to sound intelligent.
You are a very intelligent man.
You sound very intelligent compared to these two.
Dude, he's a cat.
But so he brought us over there, and then I was at SST for I don't know 6-8 months, not that long, honestly. Probably Cruise and SST combined was a year, And at one point, my dad was like, "Look, you're making $900 a month. You
Wow.
quit college to work at this place. What like I will pay you your salary that you're making right now, and I will pay for you to go to school if you quit and go back to Cal State Fullerton." And I was like, "Oh, that's the offer I can't refuse, really." So that's what I did. I quit SST right when one of the All records was coming out. I remember I was gutted because I'm like, first of all, I thought I was abandoning SST and All. And also, like, I didn't want to leave. Like, this was the dream job, right? I found the physical building that SST was in, and I was allowed in. Like, it was, but
not like some people.
yeah.
I'm not allowed in a lot of places. Church is starting.
But so after I graduated from Cal State Fullerton, my friend Kane, who we could do a whole episode on Kane.
Did you have a brother named Abel?
Yeah. Do you guys know?
I know a few Canes. So.
Kane Boychuk is his name. He put out the first Doughboys record.
Oh.
He lived in Burbank at the time. And he worked at Macola, which was an old label and pressing plant that Eazy-E did his first records at. And MC Yella worked there. Well, Kane worked there. And Kastner said, John Kastner from the Doughboys,
Dr. John.
He said, "Send this tape to Kane. He'll put it out." So I sent the 6-song demo to Kane, and that's what became Small Block. So I diverted back to Kane because so now it's several years later. I've graduated from Cal State Fullerton in '91. Kane is working at Cargo in San Diego running Headhunter Records now. And he calls me up and he said, "Hey, our salesperson is leaving. Do you want to come down here and work?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yep.
Went to college to go back to work for a label.
Yeah.
Huh?
So
Out to college and then got poor again.
I actually had gone to college in San Diego briefly, right when I graduated high school. So from '83 to '84, I went to University of San Diego and was asked to leave very nicely because
What did you do?
I got really bad grades. I
think you Chuck Norris your way through the football team or something.
No, I was supposed to play football there actually, but I bailed on football and I learned how to drink is what I did.
Yeah.
So which is
I'll drink to that.
I barely went to school. I got shitty grades and I was asked, they're like, "Dude, you're not ready for this." And I'm like, "You know what? You're probably right." And I didn't have a choice. It wasn't they're like, "No, it's time. You have to go."
I'm 32.
We
I
think
I
you're
should be ready for
awesome.
college.
This is going to be great, but your 9th year of high school is probably your last year of high school.
But so going back to San Diego after graduating was a welcome thing to me because I love San Diego anyway. I still do.
Send them huevos.
Gonna move back there again at some point.
Why?
But I just love it down there.
To me, I don't know why.
It's devoid of culture.
Especially right now with Foreclosure. We've played there probably 5 or 6 times, and we have a bigger crowd in San Diego than we do in LA.
There's no
Really?
taste.
We're from LA. It's just really weird. Like they really connected with us. I call it our Detroit Rock City, Diego Rock City,
Nice.
man, because it's
North Deal on a
just,
Rock City.
you know,
Where do you usually play? When you're
down there
I
we played at the Tower Bar a few times, the Bancroft, the Kensington Club.
Are those comments or
and
no, I can't see them
I can't remember
a
what
lot.
the others are, but we played a couple of
Soda Bar, maybe.
not there yet.
No. I think Tim Mays is involved with the Soda Bar as well as owning the Casbah.
But did you want to manage a band? Because I know a band.
This band. One of my favorite San Diego bands of all time, though, is Tilt Wheel.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Like Davey Tilt Wheel is just an amazing guy. They're fucking amazing band, and they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, like they just go up there, they play their set, they don't even write a set list. Fucking Davey just talks and then introduces the song, and the other two guys are, "Huh? Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And you know, they just play. I just saw them a couple weeks ago in the fuck was that? In Ontario.
Oh wow.
And
Nice.
with this band, with Southpaw. And
Love Southpaw.
It was just an
Want a
amazing
t-shirt.
show. Like those 3 guys just know how to bring it. You know?
Yeah, they do.
They have that little bit of Leatherface sound to them, but you know, just like the American Leatherface. So what would that be? Like the Pleatherface?
Wow, yeah.
No, Corinthian leather.
That's
Face.
That's high praise, man.
Corinthian Leatherface.
That's
Face.
leather praise.
Well, your English is even better than your Spanish is.
Chinga tu madre.
Chinga tu madre.
Well, my friend Harlow.
I can't read the comments. I can't see them.
Hi, Harlow. Thanks for watching.
You're in charge now. Start writing scripts. All right, so I'm trying again. I don't want to ask questions, and I watched like 14 interviews today. I don't want to ask the same questions over and over. This is going to get interesting.
Your favorite Cruise Records album?
Boom.
It's probably Type Thing. Probably Type
Dude.
Thing.
Now, okay, I have a question about that. So it was CD tape type thing, CD type thing, record type. It wasn't Type Thing. Was that what the actual working title was?
That's what
just
the
Type
band all called. We all called it Type Thing.
Okay.
But every format had its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, I was literally, when I got into a fist fight with my stepdad, piece of shit, fuck you, I'm glad you're dead. Was when
Wow, that took a turn.
it was when the first time I sang Green Fields on Request Video in LA.
Oh wow.
And critters, like that comes on, I'm like, yeah, and then this thing just went to shit. That solidified fucking drill car. Like, I mean, fucking God, dude, that song is so that and Takeaway.
For me,
I love
Takeaway, the original version
Yeah.
on a big
Small
one.
block.
No,
Oh,
on a
it
big
was,
one,
that's right.
The comp.
Oh.
That was the original version of that song. And I remember buying that comp, going home, listening to it. Big Draw Car comes on. I'm just like,
Yeah.
what is this? Who are they? I need to find out everything. And back then, it wasn't one of these things.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
Going to shows and just bringing up bands and, you know, trading cassettes and, you know.
Oh, taping off the little
know.
voids at the top of the cassette and recording something else. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like, fuck Madonna. And that's like, I know I can go online and find out like all of Mark Arnold's stuff and his gear. I don't want to. I don't want to. I won't do it. I want to talk to him. I want to sit here with him.
He's interviewed me as fucking Mark Arnold.
Yeah.
You know, just so you could, I think so he can get comfortable because he's like, dude, I just want to know.
I want to hear, but I don't want to look it up. I want to hear it. Like, so,
What do you
like
do?
Dead Lazlo's place, when they came out there, Hanging by a Thread 91 on Welcome to California, there was an acoustic guitar in it. I was like, what the fuck sorcery is this? Like, it was amazing to hear a different kind of take. I mean, what else have you heard? Like, what are the things that kind of spurned, like you go, whoa, and you're like, now you got to research and find it out, dig it out. Like, give us a couple of examples of bands like that for you, other than Jethro Tull.
The first thing that popped in my head when you said acoustic guitar and like kind of surprised, which isn't, I mean, it's, and I don't even remember the name of the song, but when Rocket from the Crypt was recording Scream Dracula Scream, that's when I worked with them, a little bit before and a little bit after. John had a glockenspiel brought in and like other shit, like, so there's like bells and like all sorts of crap going on in the background, and it's like, and the strings and like just everything about it. I'm like, this is like
weird.
I'm like, I don't know how he hears this. And I remember playing it for Frank Daly, and he's all, and I didn't say anything. I didn't say, listen to the instrument. I just said, here's a new song that Rocket was working on or whatever. And he's all, man, it really kicks in when those strings come in. Like, he caught it like immediately. I wish I could remember which song it was, but that, for some reason, that just popped into my head. It's not like the research project type thing, but it was just,
but it's that you get that moment, right? We're like, what the fuck? Do it again. Okay, do it again. Okay, do it again.
Well, that was Takeaway for me on that fucking comp. It was just
Angry
like,
Fields.
I can't even listen to anything else on this. You know, Green Day was on that. All these bands that were just coming up were on that. But it was just like, dude, I got to listen to that song again. And then when the album came out and that song was on there, it was almost like a letdown because it was like that demoitis, like all that feeling, all that emotion, all that sentiment.
But it also
came out in that
a place in
original
a circumstance where you're like, oh, and you were at that point in your place, and it's so circumstantial. I think all of it. It's fucking
totally.
crazy.
There was one night that we were hanging out here, and he and I, we go through the rabbit hole a lot here. Sometimes after shows, sometimes I just come hang out. We listen to music on YouTube, and then he goes, "Oh, shoot, check this out." And, "Oh, well, that reminds me of this. Check this out." There was one day, and he played the album version. I go, "Yeah, I like the original version better." He's like, "What are you fucking talking about?"
I didn't know there was a different version.
And
takeaway, I'm like, "Yep, folks, sold, done."
And
like,
we went back, and
if I'm getting a high speed chase, fucking big drill car is my fucking go-to. Like, that's gonna be the greatest sound like ever. Like
hopefully that's on cops.
Yeah.
Oh, it will be.
So when the cop comes up to your window, hold on a second. Listen to the rest of the song. All right.
Take me away, bitch. Fuck you, Ice. Yeah, I mean, those moments are like few and far between. I think for most people, I think like people like us that are like, I don't want to say versed in music, but we paid attention. It made a difference in our lives. I think we hear things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And I think we're searching things out like fucking. I mean, I could go on a million different stories about a million different bands, composers, and orchestras. And like, it's like, oh, whoa, what the fuck was it? We hear something a little bit differently. I think.
Totally.
And you get to write about it.
Yeah.
And you never answer the question. What's your favorite title of chapter?
Oh, let me look. I have to cheat. And
He's gonna read it.
Are.
This is the audiobook.
I don't read it
by Greg Jacobs in Spanish.
Oh,
I like that little signature on there.
Yeah.
You owe me royalties. Love, Mom.
Yeah. God, I think I spent a long time doing this, so I love I think Twin Peaks is also very juvenile, but it's about boobs.
Yeah.
Like there's like 3 or 4 stories about boobs, and Kastner's is one of them actually.
Oh,
yeah, it's asexual story.
Dish.
Okay, so in the asexuals, they pulled up in their van in Detroit, and I can't remember the name of the venue off the top of my head, but I think they pulled in the night before, maybe because I don't know, maybe they had a day off. So they're in the parking lot, and it happens that next door is a biker club, it's not Hell's Angels, but
Heaven's
outlaw
Devils
motorcycle club, and so some of the people are in the venue of the band, some of them are in the van, and like somehow the bikers are upset that there's a band playing or something. There's something that the bikers are like, this is our turf. What are you doing here? So they go in and they round up the band and they drag them out. And Kastner was in the van, and they dragged him out of the van and they brought him to the clubhouse and made him sit down and and then the head dragon or whatever.
Wow. So they're a clan.
No. We're gonna lean off of that one.
Yeah, no.
Fuck you, white supremacist assholes.
Yeah.
Nazis are bitches.
But so they come in and the main leader guy is like, what are you guys doing here? What's going on? And they kind of explain themselves. And meanwhile, it's like a bar in the clubhouse. It's kind of what I pictured when Kastner was telling the story. Is like what you picture in if you ever watch Cops or Undercover or whatever. And it's
I'm seeing a full Bruce Willis movie about this.
Yeah, it's like a bar. Yeah. So Kastner's looking around, and there's this big bra hanging on the wall, and it says, if you can fill this bra, you get a free you get a free bottle of Jack Daniels. And so the promoter's girlfriend was with him, and the promoter's girlfriend, the way John described her, is she was kind of small and petite and whatever, and she's all, I can fill that bra.
I know exactly.
And she did. She was so she went there all okay. They took it down, sent her into the bathroom. She came back out, totally filled the bra.
Peed in it?
No.
Oh, her tits. I thought she peed in it. That's what I was hoping for.
And then they opened up a case of Jack, handed her a bottle, and everyone was free to go.
Oh my God. There is a fucking movie in that. I can see Gizz on all fours, scampering behind the bar. Wow.
But so yeah, that's why it qualifies to be in Twin Peaks.
Fuck yeah, dude, that's fantastic.
I love John.
I like
you fucking
it's not the greatest title, but it's kind of Cement Mixer is a song that Chai Pig wrote.
I fucking
on
love
his
SNFU,
deathbed,
man.
Basically, and it's just Chai and an acoustic guitar, and he says goodbye to all my friends. He knew, but I was dying to include it somehow, and I had this. I kind of had a grab bag full of stories that didn't really fit anywhere else. So I'm like, I'm gonna use Chai's. Yeah. I'm gonna use Chai's as the catch-all instead of like gig bag or something. I was trying to think of something witty like that, like Anvil Case or whatever. Nothing sounded good, and I'm like, I'm gonna use Cement Mixer so I can give. Plus, I was knee deep in doing the SNFU record at the time, so
I wish there was more of them coming out.
There are.
See, that's what I was getting. See how that works? What's happening with that?
Well, we have to get the first one out first, and then I don't know. I haven't been told for sure. It's been hinted that I will be working on the second.
Is it going to be pressed?
Yeah.
In my shop by Licorice Pizza?
Possibly.
It's going to happen.
We'll talk to
Carrie.
It's the only way we're going to get a copy.
I have.
I won't get shit out of it, but fuck.
Evidently, I got to go on eBay to get a copy of the fucking book.
I'm buying. I'm sorry, it's happening.
I have no say in that part of the.
Oh well, if it comes up,
stuff.
we can have it all happen.
Okay.
Literally right here.
I'll let him know.
We'll just punch him in the face and tell him it's fucking punk rock. It's not fucking like your mom's permission day.
I have a few friends up in Vancouver who are
you don't have any friends.
Very good friends with Chai, and there were a couple times where they were partying in a bar, and my friend would go, "Oh, dude, you got to talk to my friend." And they would call me and FaceTime me, and I'd be sitting, in my studio drinking by myself, and all of a sudden, "Hey, how are you?" And I was like, "What the?"
That was
fuck?
Joey voice.
What? They had the very similar voice.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like 4 or 5 times I got to talk to him, and just an amazing guy. And then I've known a lot of the band members that have been part of SNFU.
Like
Dirk
26
Kurt from Ro McKenzie's. He was a guitar player for a while, and at the end, and
Chai's voice was velvet, man. I mean, I was always blown away. Like that what? No, yep, no.
His stage presence, though,
what?
Very reminiscent with the Doughboys, were in those early days. And
there's a funny debate about that actually. That Gubby, I don't know if you know, Gubby was SNFU's manager back in the day. I met Gubby because he ran Cargo Montreal when I was at Cargo San Diego. He also he did BYO Canada. So Gubby's he's been around forever, but he said that there was always a debate of who jumped off the kick drum first, Chai or Castor.
Actually, it was Paul Westerberg.
What's it? They think it was Chai. Gubby, the SNFU camp thinks it's
maybe
Chai.
Carlos from
so we had Carlos from the Nils on. I don't know if you know
Carlos,
hey, Carlos, I hope you're watching, man. I fucking love that guy to death. Like, if I could call him every day, I would.
Nice.
He's just a sweet motherfucker. I love that dude and his stories. And having not known enough about that band to go back through it, I hear every single fucking band in them.
Yeah.
Fucking SNFU, fucking the Replacements, even Husker Du, fucking Bob Mould's mom. That's the next band, Bob Mould's mom.
Did you ever hear that story?
No.
The Nils and Husker Du went on tour together, and at the end of the tour, when everybody went back home, Bob Mould's mom sent Carlos and Alex a tin of cookies with a handwritten note that
she made.
Thank you for taking care of my boys, and they still have it. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. Carlos told that story when he was in our show, and
he's fucking awesome.
He lived in Costa Mesa when I had that house on 20th Street. Carlos was. I think he lived with. Did he live with Conley? Mike Conley?
Yes. From MIA.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's a. Whoa,
it was right down the street from me.
I would love to actually get a bunch of our ex guests, our past guests back, and just kind of a round table and just share stories like this does.
Yeah.
And just having a story telling mom where we can kind of bounce off each other carefully, and that would be an edited show because it would be 5 or 6 hours long.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun to do. I really think that would be. Again, what we're trying to do is to leave a mark on the world where you might die on the way home. I may have paid somebody.
Mercedes dealership owner.
You know, I mean, I might get an airplane might crash into my house tonight. But we're trying to leave this mark and do this, and we did it with Joey Ramici, and it was so gratifying when Anna Maria, I love you to fucking death, to be able to go, oh shit, and revisit that,
Yeah,
and to be able to do like a thing where Kastner's gonna have to leave the hotel room,
yeah.
and you live in Glendale, which is exactly 9 minutes from here, John.
Well, what do you say? Oh, it's a little too far.
It's like a $9 Uber off. And
I came from Long Beach.
I know you drove from Long Beach, dude. Thank you for
Yeah.
driving from Long Beach. That's not a short distance.
I thought it would be better to sit here with you, dude.
I
than-
fucking
than
agree.
It is.
Do it over.
As much as I do like doing remote interviews because sometimes we have to, it's something about sitting here.
Yeah.
It's the pre-interview, getting reacquainted with each other,
Totally.
and then coming on and telling these stories that And again, if something does happen to one of us, there is a record of
It's
it.
here.
Yeah.
And we're here sitting next to each other. To me, it does mean a little bit more because
I mean,
I get to get that hug at the end of
Massive
the interview,
Yeah.
and it might be our last hug. I mean, even if not that someone's gonna pass, but
We're
what if
killing
we don't
Gizz
see
tonight.
each other for the rest of
Are
our
we gonna
lives.
kill
Gizz
It could be 10
totally.
years from now, but how long has it been since last time we saw each other?
Yeah, it's been forever.
Jail.
So it's just to me, and again, like we said when you got here, like this is why we do this. It is an education in punk rock where we're getting the stories from the people,
Yeah.
from
And-
the people that lived it, like Keith Morris,
Dude.
when we had him on. Hearing
I
his
spent
stories.
12
he's the
hours
best.
watching interviews with Keith Morris to not ask the same fucking questions as everybody else. Same with you. Like, I mean, at least a couple of hours. And it's been an absolute joy to have you in here and to try to not ask the questions that you've already fucking heard a million times.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
Great,
Awesome.
awesome that existed over there. It's like, how big's your dick?
Yeah.
I don't need to know. But like, just those weird things. Like, what was your most embarrassing moment in the whole history of the world when you were talking to somebody that you were looking up to?
Yeah.
Go.
Uh,
I mean, I just had one.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, those. Like, if you have somebody
He
who's like,
wasn't listening.
I know.
I was, but I didn't get the whole thing.
Who's
I was
laughing
totally
there because
listening.
I'm funnier than you are.
Hey, looks on everything.
Like when you got you're in a room with somebody you look up to. You're, oh my god, this is somebody who's really important to me. Like, what's the most embarrassing when it's coming out of your mouth? You're going, what the fuck am I saying right now?
That's probably
got
why.
one. We
That's
all
probably
have
why
one.
you didn't get the
Thank
Iggy
God.
Pop interview.
Yeah, it could-
Oh,
it
God.
could be. It could
We all have one of those.
We probably. If I had a memory, I would probably have one.
I mean, that's like you when you're talking to the Pope and said our little boy's butthole's okay. Like, yeah, we're gonna edit that probably.
Wow, I think you stumped me. I can't. I mean, I am not embarrassed to say it, but I just don't know what it is.
No, that's fine.
Honestly.
But it's one of those. It's a question like.
Yeah.
Well, we've all been in a room with somebody like, oh my God, it's that. Like, if I'm in a room with Paul Westerberg, I guarantee you the first thing that's going to come out of my mouth is going to be the dumbest fucking thing I've ever said in my life. Like, I bet, like,
Do you like
fuck.
cats?
Like, do you,
I mean,
do you like hamsters?
one of the most awkward times I've ever been a part of.
Every
was,
day?
We were playing at the Key Club with Fear, at Lazlo's place, and John Kastner showed up, and
Fireball
he wanted
place.
to talk to Lee Ving, but he didn't have a ticket. He just wanted to talk to him, and I was like, "Oh, well, thanks for showing up in time to see my band." He's like, "Well, dude, and I was like, "Well, here, let me get you in." So I told the security guy who already had known me, he's a wristband. He's just gonna go upstairs to talk. He's like, "Dude, it's your guest."
I would have called the cops.
So we go in and we're passing the bar and we're just about to go upstairs. And most of my band are hanging out. And my guitar player at the time, we're all he's actually the guy that got me into the Doughboys. And he had never met John Kastner. So I go up and I go, "Hey, Chris, this is John Kastner." And he goes, "Dude, do you know who you are?"
Do you know who you think I am?
And John goes, "Nice to meet you."
I
And just walked away.
mean, we've all had that moment. We've
Oh.
all had, and probably multiple times on my account.
But I took him up to the room that night, and I knocked on the door, and one of the guys in the band answered the door, and John looked at me and goes, "Do you want to come in and meet fucking Lee Ving?" And I'm all, you know what, dude, you're here on business. Do your thing, man.
Oh, nice,
and
yeah.
afterwards, like, I think I met him, ran into him about a month later, and he was like, yeah, the conversation I had was I wanted him to sing some vocals on my solo album, and that's what I wanted to meet him for, and I got it. So thank you.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, fuck yeah, see? And again, that's the relationship that Castor and I have. I mean, we've known each other since '99. And dude, again, like, everybody knows, like, dude, that guy can do no wrong in my fucking ass. I mean, everything that guy does is just phenomenal. I'm a huge Doughboys fan.
Hey, Kastner, if you want to just rob Gizz and give me half.
Do you know? Here's a little bit of Doughboys tidbit for
Bring
you.
it.
What's their second record? Home Again?
Yes.
So they stayed at the same house that I'm referencing again, the Costa Mesa 20th Street house, while they were recording that.
With Bill and Stefan.
Yeah. So they stayed Jonathan, Bondhead, and Brock stayed at my house. Kastner stayed down the street at Mike Conley's house, but they were there. They were there for like 2 weeks, probably staying and recording. And I remember Jonathan occasionally would he'd bring tapes home and play them. And one of them that he sang on, he's like, "Oh, I can't sing at all, man." So I like kind of made fun of his voice and totally hurt his feelings unintentionally. But I'm like, dude, there's the moment. I'm like, oh yeah, maybe that's it. I was like, I'm all, not bad for someone who can't sing or something like that. And he's all, what? Like I totally bummed him out. I'm all, you're the one that told me you couldn't sing. I was just trying to be funny. And Brock wasn't speaking. He was doing his full macrobiotic diet, and he felt that he and Kastner just got along better if Brock didn't speak. He would sing in the studio, but he did not. I swear to God, he didn't say.
We got to practice
while
this.
He was there. It was insane.
Yeah, let's start with you.
Yeah, I'll sing.
I went
You
out
don't
like
speak.
skateboarding with Brock. Not a fucking word. But we hung out for hours skateboarding a curb in front of my house. Like it was interesting.
We had him on the show, and he had just
Brock is
absolute
fucking
pleasure.
awesome, man.
He's
I
the
fucking
greatest.
love that dude.
I love Brock.
He's fucking
One of my
fantastic.
favorite drummers. We our thing is that we both use China cymbals. Not a lot of punk rock drummers like China cymbals.
And Danny too.
Yeah, Danny fucking he had that 22, and it just like it was flat. And he would just.
I can't even
Danny
wait
was
to tell you this.
Such an amazing drummer because he played open handed, so his hi hats were over here, his ride was over here, but his China was over here, and he just, I don't know, just to watch Danny play drums. Just
dude, that whole fucking band, dude.
You know,
so
fucking
good.
Bobby, just the way his fingers touch those strings. Mark, just an amazing,
Dude,
amazing.
I know that I can fucking Google all the things that Mark did. I'm not doing it until I talk to him.
Oh, I had a story. I wanted to tell
Do
you.
it.
So
Also, I just bought a 48-inch gong.
Frank and Mark were in a band before MIA. They were in a band called Raw Material. You know that?
Yep.
And Mark had a. I'm not a gear guy. I don't know shit about gear, but he had a little teeny
practice amp.
Fender practice amp.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally like maybe
it's a 110 Fender practice. Yeah, I know that amp.
Which he called his Marshall stack. He would bring.
Can you imagine what his dick looks like?
He would bring a bar table, like a tall table, up on stage and put that amp on there and turn it all the way up for the natural distortion and mic it, and that's what he played with.
Yeah,
and he loved it.
Dude,
it was his Marshall stack.
This guy Jonas Hansen, he produced I think Lazlo's first like demo, and he came over to America from Sweden with Yngwie Malmsteen. And when we were recording our record, our guitar player had a Randall amp, and it sounded like shit.
Oh, like, fuck you!
He's like, dude, like, this isn't gonna work. He's like, here, Jonas brings out this amp. He goes, fucking Yngwie recorded out of this on every album, and he's like, and it was just like, dude, that thing is a little practice amp. We're recording the fucking
sound,
the speaker.
Yeah.
Not the fucking
Let me do that too.
So, like, everybody put your egos at the door and just, let's just hear what it sounds like before you start mouthing off, and put a microphone in front of it. And dude, that fucking.
Let me have
yeah.
the same thing. There's like you don't need like, and I went through it with the Roxy at the sound guy there. It's like, dude, we're micing you. We're hearing what's happening, and we're gonna adjust that in house. It doesn't have to be a fucking Marshall full stack. Man.
Yeah.
It's enlightening to do that as an artist. Go, oh, because sometimes turning down, you get a little more subtlety out of things.
Yeah.
And when I first started, I was pinky man, volume knob, gain up, and just controlling your sound that way. And it's so. These fucking guys with these fucking pedal boards, like, how do you even afford that?
Like going back to
Jerome,
going back to Saturday's show, the band that opened up
about
for us, the pieces of shit that I fuck them. They had 11 inputs, so they had in-ears.
Is it poop spot?
They had this going through the fucking soundboard, and the sound guy, Nubs, fucking sweetheart of a guy. He knows punk rock. He's like, dude, 11 inputs for these fuckers, and they're singing and they're pulling them out, backing away from the mic. He's trying to sing. And I'm just like, dude, I've been doing this shit for 40 fucking years.
Yeah.
I've played
30,
the shittiest,
not 40,
the
30.
shittiest fucking dive bars. You get used to not hearing yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to jump off a stage and go into the crowd just so you can hear the PA because there's no fucking monitors. That's punk rock. You learn. This is what I'm capable of doing.
That's a DIY ethos. I mean, and that's where you got this and where you came from. Is like, I'm gonna be poor. I'm just gonna life's just gonna kind of suck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run it out and I'm gonna see what it's worth. But it's passion and it means something.
Yeah.
But these guys that you have told that some of their stories. I mean, these guys are fucking legends, and that's what I love about punk rock. That there's no such thing as a punk rock star. There's icons and legends.
Yeah.
There's saints and legends.
But the rock stars are,
Tim
your Mike
Armstrong,
Nesses,
Mike Ness, Tim Armstrong.
where they do come off as they're full of themselves, and punk rock would be nothing without me, and shit like that. That's the attitudes that I fucking hate. I've never gotten that from Kastner, from Mark Arnold, from all these guys who have that right.
Anybody that comes in this room is not those people because you're here telling your story, and like your story is literally telling your story. Like that's what you did.
Yeah.
You fucking told your story, and now you're here telling your story again. Like, I mean, fuck, is this still in print? The new version?
Oh yeah. It just came out in October, so it's in print.
Fucking buy it.
Should be on Amazon, honestly. Like
it is. It's $50.93.
Is it?
Yep.
So they're out of it right now. That's what that means. Is it? Because
I'll send you $50.
Nobody will buy it for that price.
I would give you $50 all day long. I know I'll pay that.
When the distributor runs out of it, then it goes to the secondary market on Amazon.
Yeah,
and that
was a used version.
That's why it's $50.
Yeah.
You can go directly to the publisher, and it's $20.
Who's the publisher?
Shipping included. University of Hell Press.
There you go. And you also have other merch associated. And we're gonna press your shirts.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I wanted to do shirts because it never really came across.
I love the graphic, dude.
I tried to make it like the Sex Pistols, pretty vacant, only with bands. Mm-hmm. So when you open it, it's like,
see, dude, I'm telling, that's a fucking great graphic. Like I would love the front, back.
That's why I wanted the shirt to look like the pretty vacant.
Well, I know this like Tijuana Bridge Troll cat that can do heat press shit because I paid for the heat press. We can make you shirts if you want.
Rad.
At fucking cost. Don't even care. But go online, buy fucking the book of Grady Jacobs. You're gonna write something else, aren't you?
I've been asked a couple of times to write a follow-up to this, so there's probably.
I thought it was about me.
Because the only thing I actually wrote in this is the intro. Like everything else.
Forward?
Well, there's stories, yeah.
Everything else was done by others.
Well, I mean, it was written. There's the stories from the bands, right? I mean, that's the thing. What about writing a fictional band? Called Gizz, Lazlo, and the Schlazlos?
Yeah. I don't know if I honestly, I don't know that I'm that creative.
I think you might be.
To write something like that.
Oh, we're drinking this shit again? Fucking Joey.
Well, we're getting to that time. I mean, we could be here for fucking hours, and I would love to do that.
Go buy the fucking book. What was the website again?
universityofhellpress.com.
Boom. And that's
$20
where we get,
shipping included.
Is that where we get merch as well?
Yeah.
Stickers, pins, buttons, thongs.
He's got stickers and he's got buttons, but then he can't ship. He can't ship media rate with buttons in it.
Well, he's being honest with the fucking poster.
Well, because they can feel it in there. This is the University of.
I have a
Press.
solution to this. If you buy the book, and I'm going to help out with this one, we're going to do a little hole where the button lives.
There you go.
Yeah, total
actually
fucking
brought-
genius.
So
right
you can
there.
hang.
That,
So you can hide a.
envelope right there on top of my.
Did you bring a cigar?
No,
those are
those
glasses.
are my glasses. But I brought you guys buttons and stickers.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what's in here.
This is acid.
So when we write a book, we're gonna put a little hole in there.
We don't write a book. I write a book. Fucking awesome, dude. Yes.
Buttons.
Dude, go buy this
Yes.
shit. Like, pay money for it.
So
And you said this in one of your interviews as well, was buy the fucking merch. Spend the money on the bands, man.
Yeah,
Go to a
for the
show,
bands,
bring
for
cash.
sure.
You know what? That shit's not free. Those bands don't show up on some kind of fucking like label budget. They do this because they're passionate and they love it.
Yeah.
And that's how they
Totally.
eat every night when they're on tour.
Yeah, that was always when Big Drill Car was out. That was always where you never made the money at the gig. You made
No.
it. You made it with the merch.
The money you make at a gig goes in the gas tank.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Were you at that show at the Whiskey when it was Olive Lawn, Big Drill Car, Down by Law? Because I had no pants on when I jumped off the stage.
I'm sure I was. 'Cause I was there.
I was wearing tighty whities.
It depends on what. If it was 92 to 2000, I was in San Diego, so I may not have been. If it was before that, I was there.
Oh man, I was hoping somebody had a picture of me in tighty whities jump off the stage.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Do you you would have by Diddy
Now I don't even want
Penzaloop.
this shot of whiskey. All right.
One thing I want to show on this that
Please
I think
do.
is cool. So these look like business cards, but they're bookmarks. But you don't need a long bookmark. And then also the backs are all different.
Yes.
With the different bands.
You mean like the Minuteman?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Nice. And it's right there.
Yeah, that's what I just saw. So, yes.
That is so fucking cool.
Isn't that
Fuck
cool?
yeah.
So this company, you can do 50 different, you can do the same front and 50 different backs.
And they don't even come like
No, it's
here's
not.
Naked Ray Gun.
You can't read.
But Big Drill Car's right next to it.
Yeah,
It's cut
no,
off, but
it's
it says
Big Drill Car Naked
Scratch
Ray Gun.
Acid.
Yeah, we just did it totally random, and I tried to pick different.
Overwhelming color fast.
Yeah.
Overeating color fat.
The Almighty is that
Oh, yeah.
Trigger happy?
No, it's just the Almighty. They're an English band with or Irish band.
They're an Irish band. Oh, do you know the story of the what the fuck is the room? The Boiler Room.
I don't think so.
So Phil Lynott, it was the Boiler Room. I don't know if it was the Boiler Room. There's so Phil Lynott and Thin Lizzy. There was a building in Ireland that had a bomb hole inside of it, and they'd condemned it, and they had basically the punks like burrowed a hole in it,
Oh wow.
and you could like sneak in, and that's where Stiff Little Fingers put there for shows.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's the fucking Project Room. There's a whole documentary on the Project Room.
Oh, I gotta see that.
It's fantastic. Like people they would sneak in, and there's a
Wow.
fucking horn.
That's it. We gotta read
Yeah.
it.
Duh!
Ice just showed up.
Fuck Ice. I will knife the fuck out of one of those pieces of shit. Greg Jacobs, buy the fucking book, buy some merch, feed this man's fucking ego and his fucking bank account. His mom's awesome.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Gentlemen,
Thank you so
here's to
much,
Joey.
Coming in. This one's for Joey.
And that almost concludes because we have more questions. But also, you got to drive back to Long Beach, which is not short away.
You know, the dude from the Almighty is Ricky Warwick,
Mhm.
who sang for Thin Lizzy after.
Really?
I love Thin Lizzy, dude.
Yeah, and Ricky, he's got some solo projects like Ricky Warwick and the Fighting Hearts. He's a fucking prince. He's the nicest dude. I have a picture. It was totally random. A picture of me and Ricky when he was in New Model Army. And
Oh, I love anime.
1988. We're sitting there arm in arm backstage with Big Frank in the background, going like, "Can you guys hurry up?" Like, and I'm just all.
Well, that was back in
Fanboy,
1980, like Polaroid. Boop.
Yeah. But so I worked on a video that Ricky did out in the desert a couple years ago, and I brought the picture. I'm all, dude, look at this, and he was blown away. Like, because now he's got like nice pompadour and like sharp looking dude, and back then his hair was like down to here, and he's in his New Model Army shirt, and he was holding a can of Guinness, I think, and a bottle of Jameson, and he's all Irish handcuffs.
Oh my god.
But he was also sorry, I'm rambling.
You ramble the fuck off,
go.
dude.
That's all
New
rambling.
Model Army, I think, is one of the most underrated bands from Ireland.
One of my favorite
in that whole scene the whole time, and I didn't know him until the girl that made him introduced us on accident with a push.
Oh, yeah,
But
I love.
I'm still gonna smack her the next time I see her.
One of my
No, she just whip her boobs out, and you'd be like, forget all about shit.
Fill this, and you get a bottle of fucking Jack.
One of my friends from Costa Mesa actually married Rob, the drummer from New Model Army, and moved to Bradford, England.
No
with him
shit.
Back in the 80s, yeah. Rob's since passed from brain cancer, but Ricky
Somebody just crashed into the building.
Ricky tells a New Model Army story in here, which is pretty funny. He gets left behind. They forgot about him, and they drove away in the bus. And it was before cell phones and stuff, so he just sat there.
Mm-hmm.
And like the venue closed, and the security guy laughed at him. But what I was going to say about Ricky, aside from what
Being
a
lost.
sweetheart he is, he was the hardest. He was super great, super friendly about giving me a story. He gave me 2 tour stories, New Model Army and The Almighty, but recording him in his thick Irish accent and then trying to
Do
transcribe
you know what you're talking about?
so fucking hard. It was the most difficult transcription in the entire book was Ricky.
All you just call. I mean, I grew up with that. So, all right, before we sign off, new music. Give me a couple.
I really like Turnstile, which isn't that new.
Fucking Lewis from Foreclosure, really into that band.
I like Soft Play. I just heard
That doesn't make any sense to me at all. I like
Two-
hard play.
it's a 2-man operation, like a 2-man hardcore band.
Well, we were talking about that earlier, right?
Yeah,
Soft play.
Soft Play, yeah.
I'll put them
But
on.
I don't have their record. I ordered their record at Fingerprints, and it came in. They didn't tell me it was an import. It was $50 for a record. I'm like, dude, I'm not paying $50 for this. And they're all,
Wait, what?
yeah, that's okay. We didn't realize. We should have told you it was an import, and they just put it out on the shelf. But it's pretty good.
For $49.
Yeah.
I just bought the Ben Nichols. I actually pre-ordered the new Ben Nichols that's coming out. Ben, that's one of the things I want to do more about on the show is like looking at forward music. Like what else are you listening to? I mean, I know you're way into hip hop and techno.
I do love hip hop, honestly.
See?
But old, like I like old gangster rap shit. Still.
He
Fucking
would get along
I
with
love
Gangstar.
Mike Williamson.
Dude,
From Junior
Guru
Juggernaut.
is a fucking badass.
I love
Yeah,
that stuff.
that's where I'm at.
I'm trying to think what else.
Mike just has to turn down a little bit.
Don't say
Mike.
that.
Oh, I'll
You
say
ever,
that.
have you ever seen the band Junior Juggernaut?
Yeah,
You've heard him
yeah.
from across the universe.
Wall Rashidi, he's in the band.
Yeah, he
Uh,
did an interview with Big Drill Car the first time they got back together.
Wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that guy's interviewed
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah.
Is there any chance of another Big Drill? I know the answer is no, but Big Drill Car doing something because I know that there's been.
I don't. I mean,
I'll sing for him.
I hold out hope that there will be, and anytime an offer comes, I present it to the guys. But there's some different things going on in that band or with the members now. Like Danny's got some health issues, so him being able to actually drum for an entire set may not really be possible. And Mark lives in Las Vegas now, so he's not as accessible. Plus, he's a hardworking sound man. He's always on
Yeah,
tour. That dude
he's
is always
constantly
on
working.
tour. So just those two being kind of scattered is difficult. So I mean, I always pitch them whenever someone approaches me, like that Big Frank thing I told you guys about. Like that, they were asked. They're like, "Can you just come up and do 3 songs on a shared back line?"
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Danny said he's all, I can do 3 songs. I could do that. But Mark was on tour with Band of Horses, so he couldn't do it.
I fucking love them too. Is he playing with him? I know he's doing the sound for him. Is he playing with him? Or
I don't think he's playing with him. He used to do that with Evan Dando though, or the Lemonheads. I don't know who it was, but-
I heard a story recently
oh God.
that I can't remember what band it was, but it may have been Rocket. But Mark was doing sound for the guys, and there's a song where Mark plays guitar, and he played guitar from the sound booth.
Oh, but he could.
Oh.
He did that with the Lemonheads and with Evan Dando for sure.
Maybe that was it.
I don't know that he did it with Rocket. He could.
That's a shame about
I remember hearing the story that he was just in the sound booth, running sound. And he just picked up the guitar, and then as soon as Mark came in, he played his solo or whatever the fuck it was, and then
he definitely. I saw him do that at the Troubadour. Actually, I must have been Evan and not Evan solo and not the Lemonheads. But
what year would that have been?
Dude, I don't know.
I mean, like 90s or 2000s?
2000s.
Okay.
Ish.
One of my buddies, Mel, used to be the door guy there.
Okay. Yeah, but Mark was standing behind the soundboard with his guitar on. He wasn't hiding it or anything.
No.
And I'm all, what are you doing with that? He's all, oh, I play a couple songs from back here. I'm all, what?
I would have ruined the whole set.
I went to a show in San Diego one time. And I believe Rocket was like a festival type.
Rocket in the crib.
And I went and got a beer, and I was going back to hang out with my friends. And from the beer to where my friends were, pretty long jaunt. So I stopped to take a breath at the sound booth, and I looked over, and there was Mark.
Oh, nice.
I just kind of looked at him until he recognized me, and then he kept looking like, dude,
Who's
you're
that
creeping me out.
troll?
You're creeping me out. You're creeping me out. And finally, he realized who I was. Yeah.
Wait, who are you?
Yeah. What do you think I'm looking? You're like an idiot.
He's the best.
And he's such a sweetheart. He didn't have a fucking retort like some people.
What dick?
Santa.
All right, look, we got
Santa.
fucking Greg Jacobs.
That's
No, I'm gonna you fuck up. I like him. You're weird.
not the first time I've heard that.
No, not even in a van.
No, not even today.
This is Greg Jacobs. He wrote a fucking book called Hell on Wheels, and you should fucking buy it, pay money, get the shit. And like, honest to God, most important part, and one of the things I take from this and all the things we do.
I'm gonna go back to school and learn how to read.
You are not. Listen, fucking none of us do this for free. Apparently we are. This shit costs money. You fucking dick, Chris Clunk. We're spending money. We're putting our passion into this. These guys are fucking working their asses off. Fucking put some money to the merch. Pay some money. Bring some cash. Do the thing. Show the actual love. Don't buy it off of fucking some weird website. Like, call the artist obnoxiously for hours on end at the middle of the night until they agree to fucking send you something.
Till they agree to play again.
Yeah. Hey, look, I talked to Dan Reed, and there's an actual possibility. I'm just saying.
Is there really?
Dude, don't
Bob.
Don't mess with my emotions.
Oh, Bob.
Bob, do it.
Fucking
Bob.
come on, man. I'll let
His-
Gizz be near
His
you.
birthday was last week, I believe.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've never met.
Well,
Bob,
you
but-
suck at things. You suck on things. You know what you should do? Not that.
you know you should. I'm Gizz Lazlo.
I'm just Paul.
And
This is Greg Jacobs. That was
Next
fucking
week we have Scott
Awesome.
from the infamous Stiffs.
Oh, Scotty!
Oh, nice.
They're playing on the 12th at the Escondite, and I believe they have a new record out. And if it's on vinyl, I will fucking pay for every fucking bit of it. Like, come on, guys. Yeah, they're playing the 12th.
You're gonna pay for what? You're gonna pay for half? Just to
No,
be a
I'm
dickhead?
gonna buy one record.
Oh, or are you gonna buy the whole Crowder record?
I'm gonna buy. I don't need a crap. What's wrong with you? Did you have a stroke?
You want the
again?
whole list or just the top 10?
Well, just one stroke.
That's how I went to jail the first time.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He was 11, Your Honor.
All right, so yeah.
Next week we're doing this again for
Next week,
some
episode
fucking
22.
stupid reason.
So all right.
Yeah, Greg Jacobs is our
Awesome.
new producer. Thank you, Mindy, being our badass
you, Mindy.
producer.
Our
Metal,
producer
Metal, we
tonight.
love you. I hope you're having a better day, buddy. Sean, I hope you're doing all right as well. The rest of you can go fuck yourselves.
Except for Joey Ramici. Love
That
you.
guy can never do no. He's a fucking saint.
All right, till next week.